7 men arrested in Edina, Minnesota, in a sting targeting predators who thought they were paying to have sex with a minor. Folks, this is happening in the Twin Cities suburbs. Will prosecutors actually do their jobs, or will these predators get a free pass? Welcome to Nelly Miranda. According to the city of Edina, this operation went down Monday, July 21st. 7 suspects, ages 25 to 48 from across the metro. They believe they were arranging to pay for sex with a child. Think about that for a second. A child. This wasn't just the Edina police. This was the 494 Corridor Group, Bloomington, Eden Prairie, St. Louis Park, the Hennepin County's Sheriff's Office, and the County Attorney's Office. Credit where it's due, these officers are proactive. They're setting up stings. They're intercepting predators before a real victim is hurt.
4 more men are facing charges out of Edina in a human trafficking bus, bringing the total number of people charged to 6. Court documents laying out more details on what led to their arrest. Our Joe McCoy joins us live from Edina's police department with what those charges have to say.
Well, Morgan, this sting was part of a multi-agency task force focused on addressing human trafficking and exploitation. Now, the 7 men who were arrested ranged from 25 to 48 years old, and they all live in the Twin Cities metro. This week, the Edina Police Department was busy cracking down on underage human trafficking and sexual exploitation. In an undercover sting, the department says they arrested 7 men who in separate instances believed they were arranging to pay for sex with a 17-year-old.
It was alarming that there was, that many cases in one city alone on one evening as part of this sting operation.
Mike Olson is a former St. Paul police officer and Secret Service agent. He says in the past 10 years, law enforcement nationwide has made a conscious effort to crack down on these sorts of crimes.
Minnesota alone, it's been estimated as of the last couple of years, over 5,000 middle school and high school students have admitted to being sexually exploited.
As of Friday, 6 of the 7 men have been charged with a felony count of hiring or agreeing to hire a prostitute who is reasonably believed to be under 18 but over 16 years old. If convicted and first-time offenders, each man is likely to face up to a year in county jail.
It's kind of like phishing in reverse. We hear about phishing cases in cyber world with the bad actors doing that. In this case, law enforcement's throwing the line out there.
But let's be honest, catching them is the easy part. The real question is, what happens next? Do prosecutors bring the hammer down, or do these guys walk with probation and a fine? Because we need to know, what are the charges? Are there plea deals in the works? Are judges handing down real sentences? Because if you arrest predators on Monday and then cut them loose by Friday, you send one message: try again, we will not stop you.
The sting was fairly straightforward. An undercover officer put an ad online offering prostitution services. When someone responded, the undercover officer made it explicitly clear they were only 17 years old. If the person still agreed to go forward, the officer would send them a location to meet where officers were waiting to arrest them.
Technology is obviously constantly evolving, and in these types of cases, obviously it's a frighteningly huge way that offenders are getting connected with victims in these cases.
According to charging documents, one of the men texted the undercover officer, quote, "Age doesn't matter," when the officer said they were only 17 years old. Another man texted the officer that he personally did not care they were 17. According to court documents, that man was also charged with possession of meth.
Since Tim Walz took office in 2019, violent crimes in Minnesota has raced upwards. From 2019 through 2021, violent crimes climbed by 40%, while imprisonment rates plunged by over 26%. And get this, as of the latest data, crime remains roughly 12% higher than when he took office. And this dramatic rise began before George Floyd. It was tied to Walz's embrace of progressive criminal justice reforms, bail changes, fewer convictions, and more early release. And in Minnesota, the scale is alarming. In 2024, the city accounted for 46% of the state's murders, 56% of robberies, and a staggering 91% of carjackings, while making up just 7% of the state population. Walz championed the Minnesota Freedom Fund and policies that effectively eliminated bail for nonviolent offenders, regardless of prior records. This led to thousands fewer people on probation, 5,470 fewer, in fact. But while they talk about equity, the reality is fewer consequences and fewer deterrents.
According to Citizens Against Sex Trafficking, the Twin Cities is one of 13 metros in the United States with disproportionately high rates of child sex trafficking. Morgan.
So what does this all add up to? A climate where predators feel emboldened. Cities like Minneapolis have crime rates well above national averages. In 2023, violent crimes in Minneapolis were nearly 3 times the state average. Under Walz, big picture reforms became priorities. Climate mandates, sanctuary measures, bail reform, but public safety lagged behind. This is about more than one sting. It's about policy, culture, and consequences. You don't end child exploitation with hashtags. You end it by ending the marketplace, and that means hitting the demand side hard. Let me remind you, just last month, Eden Prairie Police ran a similar sting. They had 12 arrests, 10 felony charges so far, and since 2016, their operations have led to over 400 arrests. Minnesota under Tim Walz is out of control, and it is time to vote him out. But what should Edina and every city do next? Number 1, publish every outcome, the charge, the plea, the sentence. Number 2, mandatory minimums for anyone caught trying to buy sex from a minor. Number 3, put the mugshots out when legally possible, because sunlight is a deterrent. And number 4, notify employers and licensing boards. The bottom line is the cops did their job. Now we'll have to see if prosecutors and the judges will do theirs. Should the names, charges, and sentences of these suspects be automatically public? And should there be mandatory minimums for crimes like this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, if honest commentary brings you value, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.